Bulavanaka, hello and welcome to Drua Talk with Clarkie. Great to have your company as we reflect on another entertaining weekend in the Shop and Save Super Rugby Pacific. And we look forward to this weekend's culture round with the Swire shipping Fijian Drua men and the Rooster Chicken Fijian Drua women playing in a double header against the Waratahs in Sydney Friday night. Shortly, we'll hear from men's coach Glen Jackson. Women's coach Ifereimi Rawaqa joins us for the first time. Ex-Flying Fijian player and coach and current Waratahs Director of Rugby Simon Raiwalui is on the show. A huge lineup, and we kick it off with highlights from another frustrating and narrow loss for the Drua men. It was there for the taking against the Hurricanes in Napier, but the Drua just couldn't close it out.
And away we go at McLean Park in Napier as the kickoff is made and taken down by Nasilasila for the Fijian Drua as Lamani sends it across to Tungiri, his loose head prop.
Last feed here.
If there is any breeze, it will be behind the Fijian Drua in the first half. And here is an early test for Callum Harkin, who bounces out of a tackle as it's brought out by Roygard, who puts his foot down. He's got Karafi with him. Now the sprint is on. Duplessis, Karafi, Hurricanes strike early.
Oh, what a start in this boat. Straight at the ruck. Roygard, he didn't even look out to the open side.
Thana Kaivata for the Fijian Drua. Now wide to the left wing side of Rakura as Lamani away from Murray. Inside the 22. Lamani again for Armstrong Ravula. Looking good with the ball in hand. Now they get it out to Ratuvu. And the Fijian Drua strike immediately. Lamani, they keep it in close though. And they gain themselves a penalty here. Now the little jab through, and the bounce here is good for them. Turn it back on the inside, but no advantage. Isaiah Armstrong Ravula. .45-metre kick, certainly got the distance, and it's accurate. Good defence by the Drua as Roygard playing under a penalty advantage. Umaga Jensen in space, gets it away to Karifi. Now the ball slipped to Whiniunga Norfolk as the Hurricanes are deep inside the 22. Mafaleo goes charging. Good run by the big number 3. Roygard on his own, turns it back inside, and Braden Yosei scores for the Hurricanes.
Stays his Drua ball.
They don't compete. Tongiatama gets it away here for Darren Nalangi as the Drua threaten right near the goalposts.
Too many players there. Get your tackles out.
Now Lamani.
Offside.
They've got him offside once again as the Drua pressing hard. Now they go wide. They've got plenty of numbers. And Armstrong Ravula scores the try for the Drua. The Drua will put a player up here for sure. Oh, Tucker's over. It's been overthrown. And away goes Tongiatama. Now the Drua, can they cash in here? Away goes Murray, getting close to the line. Now Lamani swings it away. They must score here. They've got a mile overlap, and they do.
James, the blue ball carrier has put his hand on the dead ball line, so I need you to overrule your on-field decision. It's no try.
Okay. No try.
Another penalty advantage. Might end up with 2 in the bin if they're not careful here, the Hurricanes. So the Fijian Drua, they're right there. It's Lamani, sells a dummy and scores. Roygard is back there. Again holding up in the breeze, coming down around about halfway, and Shields, first man there. Now it's with Karifi. Ball is there for Roygard. Slings it away for Godfrey. Having a bit of a dab, and off he goes, Harry Godfrey. What a run this is. And he almost got there. Lays it back. Snapped up by Whiniunganofo, and the Hurricanes strike. Second half will start with the Hurricanes down to 14 for another 5 minutes as the kickoff is made, and I'm sure this will be kicked into touch in a hurry, which it is, by Balen Sullivan. So half-time, it's been action-packed here at McLean Park in Napier, but at the break, the Fijian Drua lead the Hurricanes by 22-19. Very shortly, we'll talk with Clark Laidlaw. We'll get this second half underway, and it'll be Armstrong Ravula to get us started in the second half, and is not going to go the 10 metres. Fijian Drua back in control. Armstrong Ravula. And now right up the centre. Great with the ball in hand. Armstrong Ravula gets it back. Back on the inside. Silla. Oh boy, that's a try. Isoa Silla. It started on the 22. Powerful charge. Back now for Holo. Lakai. Big moments in this game. Here goes Raketi Stones. Roigard again. Drops it off to Karifi. And they're playing under a penalty advantage. Roigard goes himself. And Cam Roigard lays it back. Snapped up by Raketi Stones. And the local hero. Almost under the post. Penalty advantage here as Plummer goes close. Roigard, he's got players away. Here's Sullivan. Balen Sullivan! And the Hurricanes are back at Canaveri. Important line-out throw. See where the Hurricanes put a man up. Canaveri. Yes, they do put a man up. But it's been nicely done. And close to the line. Try! Thanikavata. Then lost it. Oh, the ball's been lost. So now the Hurricanes can do something here as Shields has it from the pass by Roigard. Now Roigard slings it off to, and here is a bust from Hohepa. Pops it up. Godfrey. Harry Godfrey. He's on the clock. Looking to convert his own try from the sideline. Oh, that's not bad. That is a great... Misses the spot tackle. Ball is there. Ball was out. Hurricanes have got it. They'll boot this into touch. They might even get a try if Naholo gets there. No, they don't. It's into touch. What a game. What a game at McLean Park in Napier. Hurricanes victorious. Players all over the field, absolutely done after 80 minutes. But the Hurricanes get home by 38.
Another close one for the Drua. They could have been in the top three with a few less mistakes, but they're now in the bottom three after 2 weeks. So let's check the results and update the points table. The Chiefs are unbeaten after their bonus point win over the Crusaders, winning 49-24. The Reds had discipline issues, but were still too good for Moana, winning 56-36. The Canes came from behind to beat the Drua 38-34. The Highlanders upset the defending champs, the Blues, in Dunedin, a great win, 29-21. And the Force made it 2 from 2, breaking a long drought in Canberra, pipping the Brumbies 45-42. So, to the ladder, the Chiefs are on top with 9 points, the Force are on 8, Reds, Highlanders and Brumbies are on 5, Tars, Hurricanes and Crusaders 4, the Drua 2, Moana 1 and the Blues are 11th on 0. Well, just when it seemed the Drua would win their very first game on Kiwi soil, mistakes allowed the Canes to snatch the victory in Napier. To talk about that and much more, we're being joined by the head coach Glen Jackson. Pulavanaka, Glen. Well, there was so much to like about the Drua's effort in Napier, but here we are, lamenting another one that got away. How hard is it to put it aside and move on?
Mate, pretty easy really. This competition's is jam-packed and full noise. We've got a 6-day turnaround, so if the coach is moping around about it, the players will as well. So obviously it's disappointing. I think the boys probably put in one of their best performances in a Drua jersey since the start of the competition of the Drua, and you know, it's just a shame that we didn't get away with the 4 points. But you know, after 2 games, 2 tough games, and having 2 points, we've got to look at the positive, and those bonus points will be very, very crucial by the end of the season.
You've said all along that you don't want to stifle the Fiji style. We all love it when it works, but when it doesn't, it can be the difference between winning and losing. It's a fine line, isn't it?
Yeah, well, I don't really know what that sort of means. I think we're obviously we're trying to play rugby, and that's our game of rugby. I wouldn't have thought the Fiji style was the way that we didn't win. Obviously, we created some beautiful opportunities. Unfortunately, with Ilya celebrating in the corner and Diralangi just getting tackled out, it's probably one of them. But you know, Dan was tackled in the corner. Taniela, unfortunately, just which we lost an opportunity to score a try. But you know, there's no beating around the bush. We unfortunately dropped a kick off and they scored, and that's obviously not the Fiji Drua style. That's just rugby where we let ourselves down in a pretty crucial moment.
I was referring to the game management in a roundabout way.
Yeah, I thought our kicking game was good. I thought the way we're going to play, that's the way we want to play in terms of winning. So yeah, it's going to be different this week. I think the Waratahs kick a lot of ball. They had 33 kicks in the first game compared to the Hurricanes. I think kicked it only 15 times. So it's going to be a much different game this week around the 2 styles of how we play.
Well, let's get back to the positives. The Drua have proven they can match it with the best when the momentum is with them.
Yeah, look, I'd say we matched it. We didn't beat them. That's what we want to do. So the Hurricanes obviously were the best team last year in New Zealand, and the Brumbies were up there, and now we've got a Waratahs that got a new coach, new players, some good signings obviously from the Rebels to boast of their squad. But we're out there to know that we can match it on the road now, and that's I thought our preparation for the Hurricanes. In terms individually, our preparation was outstanding from our boys. So we've got to make sure that we do that again in a 6-day turnaround, and take the positives out of the first 2 games, and also the massive learnings that we've had, and then now put it into a complete performance.
Now it's the Waratahs in Sydney Friday night. You've given most of your squad a chance to impress in the opening 2 games. So what was your thinking when picking this week's team?
We certainly have made some changes again. I think it's important that we've got a very good squad of 30 odd players. So it's a 6-day turnaround. Napier wasn't easy to get to. I think we got to Wellington about 2 a.m. and then flew home on the Sunday. So the whole idea was that we needed players that were fresh. We're also obviously given players that perform well against the Hurricanes the opportunity to carry on. So it's important that we get the balance right around our selection, but also a couple of injuries that we've picked up to in terms of Frank Lamani and Seth Masi. So that sort of upset a couple of decision makings. But I think Simi played extremely well against the Brumbies, so we're excited to have him back in the team as well.
You've worked with Simon Raiwalui and the Flying Fijians in the Drua setup. He's now in enemy territory as Director of Rugby for the Tars. Have you got a few surprises for him?
No, it'd just be great to catch up with Simon. Simon was a massive person behind the Drua and getting the Drua started. So Simon will say he's working for the Waratahs, but I actually know deep down he's still with the Drua, and he always will be. So when we hopefully get the victory on Saturday, we'll be able to catch up, and we'll be able to thank him again for everything he's done for the Drua. Obviously he's got a new role, but again, I'm more than thankful. Obviously working with him, Flying Fijians, I know how much of a great man he is, and what Fiji rugby owes to him.
Well, the Tars had a bye last weekend. Were you impressed by their come-from-behind win over the Highlanders in week 1?
Yeah, well, especially what the Highlanders have done now, beating the Blues. This competition is brutal. You know, it's a bounce of a ball. It's back to what it used to be, I think, in terms of the competition and how hard it is. The Tars probably wouldn't have wanted a bye, I wouldn't have thought, after a win like that. I mean, they've had a reasonably long pre-season. They've brought some superstars into the game. So the balance of how Dan wants them to play and how they are going to play against us will be interesting. But like I said, they've got some pretty big rock star names out there, and playing in front of their home crowd in Sydney will be great for our boys just to match themselves against a fairly decent Wallaby sort of nearly set up. So we're looking forward to the opportunity to play on Friday night.
Jacko, it's Culture Round in Super Rugby Pacific this weekend. So how important was it for the Drua to get out amongst the people and spend some time in Kandavu pre-season?
Yeah, I think, we go back to and use the Kandavu trip quite a bit in terms of what we did. I think it was amazing for our boys. Most of our team hadn't been there, even if they were from Kandavu. So to get out into an island, to the public of Kandavu, they were brilliant for us, and we're using that all the time in terms of the knowledge that we learnt from there and the experience that we learnt from there. And obviously having the Drua in Super Rugby is what it's all about in Super Rugby Pacific. And we're all about culture, and the Fijian community turned out beautifully in Napier and made their crowd very well, massive. So hopefully they'll do the same, or we know they'll do the same in Sydney, and we'll put on a good performance to celebrate the cultural round of Super Rugby Pacific.
Well, Glen, all the best in Sydney, mate. It's a big one for the Drua, with both the men and women playing the Waratahs. Go well. Waratahs.
Thanks, Clarkie. Appreciate it, mate.
Can the Drua men play the full 80 this week? It's a huge challenge for them in Sydney, but hopefully they can pull off an upset and beat the Tars on Aussie soil for the very first time. Our next guest is a Fiji legend, but he's in enemy territory this week. Bulla Simon Raiwalui, first of all, I hope you're over your health scare, and how have you settled into your new role as Rugby Director at the Waratahs?
Well, it's been an interesting introduction. I've obviously had a health scare at the end of last year, and the Waratahs have been great about dealing with that, so I'm getting integrated back into it, and it's been interesting to say the least.
Well, the Tars had a bye in week 2, but how did you rate the first up win over the Highlanders?
Well, firstly, it was great to get a win. You want to start the season well. To get the win that late and stick in it shows all the work that they've done during the pre-season. They fought right through the end, and Dan and his coaching staff and all the team have done a great job. So it was really good to get a win.
This week, it's the Drua, a team that you put together when they joined the competition. Do you have mixed emotions?
Not mixed emotions. It's obviously I'll always be proud of what we achieved with the Drua and creation of the Drua. It's been huge for Fiji rugby. But I know where my loyalties lie. I'm with the Waratahs now. But I'm looking forward to seeing Jacko and his staff, and the players, and got a good connection through the players, through coaching Fiji, and through the high performance, the academy. So I've got ties and good friends that I'm looking forward to catching up with.
You'll probably be banned from talking to them before the match, I'd imagine. Now, the Drua have had their opportunities to win both of their games so far, but they haven't been able to close it out. What are you expecting from them this week?
Well, they're going to be tough. They're going to be coming to play the Tars. It's always been traditionally a really tough game between the Tars and between the Drua, so I'm expecting a lot of fireworks, and it should be a really good game.
Let's hope so. They say Australian rugby is strong when the Waratahs are strong. Are you optimistic about the Tars' chances this year?
Yeah, well, like I said, Dan and his coaching staff and his performance staff have done a great job in installing their beliefs. It's still early. We're still working on those things, but they've done a great job in really building the team, and good first up win, and we're looking forward to future results.
Okay, Simon, thanks for your time, mate. Enjoy Culture Round, enjoy catching up with the Fijian contingent. Waratahs.
Waratahs. Cheers, Clarkie.
It's always good to chat to Simon, such a proud Fijian, but the Drua boys will be hoping to get one over him in Sydney. Okay, let's check out the leaders this week in Super Rugby Pacific Fantasy. If you have Quinn Tupaia from the Chiefs in your team, you'd be pretty happy with his 98 fantasy points against the Crusaders. Cam Roigard was very good against the Drua in Napier, earning 85 points. Highlanders fullback Finn Hurley, he earned 76. Reds winger Filippo Dongunu earned 73, along with Highlanders winger Kieran Taumoe Falau, and just ahead of Reds back rower Fraser McRide on 71. The best of the Drua was the lock, Asawa Nasilasila on 41. There is a Player of the Year award voted each week by the coaches and captains, and here are the leaders after 2 rounds. It's an impressive list of back row forwards and classy backs. 12 players are equal on top with 6 points, including 1 Drua player, Watakiai Murray, who impressed against the Hurricanes, so well done to him. Murray picked up 6 points in Napier, while Nasilasila, Darren Alangi and Armstrong Ravula gained 2 points each from that match. Let's check the draw for Week 3 in the Shop and Save Super Rugby Pacific. Friday night, Moana Pacifica are at home for the first time in Auckland, hosting the Highlanders. It's a doubleheader in Sydney with the Drua playing the Waratahs. The men kick off at 7:30 p.m. local time, which is 8:30 in Fiji. The Chiefs play the Brumbies in Hamilton, followed by the Hurricanes and Blues in Wellington. The final game of Culture Round is the Force and the Reds in Perth. 2 unbeaten Aussie teams going head-to-head, 97 tries scored in 10 matches so far. Looking forward to many more this weekend. Well, the Rooster Chicken Fijian women start their Super W campaign this week. They play the early game in the doubleheader in Sydney between the Drua and the Waratahs. Let's hear from the Drua head coach, Ifereimi Rawaqa. On Drua Talk, it's time to see who's in Clarkie's corner. Bulatuif, well, the Drua women warmed up for the season opener with a trial against the Brumbies last weekend. The Brumbies won 52-33. How did you rate the Drua's performance?
Bula, and thank you. The team knows that the result wasn't what we wanted. There were a lot of positives to take from the game. Scoring 33 points shows that we are a good attacking team, but defensively, we know there's room for improvement. The trial gave us a good indication into where we are and what we need to sharpen before the round 1 start.
You decided to stay over at the Australian Institute of Sport in Canberra after the trial match, so you don't lose any training days because of travel. What have been the work-ons this week? AAS has been good to us. Staying back has allowed us to maximize these training facilities, especially our trainings and training time, and focus on key areas like a defensive structure, set piece executions, and our recovery. So we also work on our game management as well, making sure that the players stay composed in pressure moment, and the more time together has really helped us build a stronger connections on and off the field. It's a tough start to the Super W for the Drua as you play the defending champions, the Waratahs in Sydney. Are the Tars the toughest team to beat again this year?
Yeah, we know the Waratahs are always a strong side. They're also defending champion. They have standards and they have set the standard in the competition as well. But for us, every team in Super W is a challenge. We have respect what the Waratahs will bring, but our focus is on us, how we can execute our own game and play the type of rugby we want.
This week is a rematch of last year's finalists. The Tars were too good that day, but what did you learn from that final?
There's so much learning from last year. We're in a rebuilding phase, but the balance of youth and experience are exciting for us as a coach. The senior players are guiding the younger ones, and the energy from the new talent has been outstanding. We are confident that as the seasons progress, everything will be come together, and we will build momentum.
Well, it's good to hear you are confident it will all come together, because you do have a good mix of experience and youth. Who's impressed you in the pre-season and the trial match?
There's been some standout players so far. There's young Josie Naihamu, played 12, Litiana Vueti, and Ifereimi. So our senior players shown a great leadership, while you can see Vitalina's walk rate around the field is impressive. But overall, it's been the team effort and attitude from the entire players that's impressed us the most.
Well, it's a big occasion for your team, especially the young players. They wouldn't have played in a stadium the size of Allianz in Sydney before, so hopefully there'll be a big Fijian crowd to help them handle the occasion.
I'll really appreciate the support. We're looking forward to a strong season and making everyone proud, both and off the field.
Ifereimi, all the very best against the Waratahs and for the rest of the Super W season. Banaka.
Naka, thank you.
Here is the draw for Week 1 in Super W. Friday night, Waratahs and the Fijian Drua at Allianz Stadium in Sydney. Kick-off 5 p.m. local, 6 p.m. Fiji time. And on Saturday, the Force play the Brumbies in Perth. The Reds have the bye. And that's about it for Drua Talk this week. A shout out to the Fiji Airways Fijiana Sevens team, who reached the final against New Zealand in Vancouver last week, their first cup final of the season. So well done, ladies. And good luck to the Draw men who take on the Waratahs, and the Draw women who also play the Waratahs in the Friday night doubleheader in Sydney. As always, we leave you with a look at the Drua teams for this week. I'm Greg Clark. Mode.